Picture this: a town where the ground below you burns with unrelenting fire, where smoke seeps through the cracks of the earth itself, and where silence has replaced the once thriving hum of a community. It's as if the earth itself is rebelling. Welcome to Centralia, Pennsylvania, a ghost town still burning over 60 years later. Welcome, my curious wanderer, to the Nightside Archive. Tonight's story isn't just about flames. It's about a nightmare that refuses to end. This is The Town That Burned Forever. It all started innocently enough back in 1962. Centralia was a close-knit mining town, bustling with promise and hard work. But like most mining towns, it had a secret. Underneath the streets lay a labyrinth of coal mines that had been fueling the town's economy for generations. However, it wasn't just resources hiding below, but danger waiting to unleash itself. The turning point came when the town decided to clean out a landfill. Trash fires were practical, efficient ways to handle waste in that era. On May 27th of 1962, workers set the landfill ablaze. But unknown to them, a vein of coal in the mines directly beneath the landfill caught fire. At first, no one noticed the significance of this. It was just a fire, one they thought they had extinguished. Problem solved, right? Wrong. Within weeks, strange columns of smoke began rising from the earth in other parts of the town, and the faint but unmistakable smell of burning coal filled Centralia's air. The fire, my friends, had spread into the mines. To put it simply, coal burns indefinitely when exposed to oxygen. It burns hot and for as long as there's fuel. Underneath Centralia, there was plenty of both. Officials tried to put the fire out. Attempts ranged from dousing it with water to digging elaborate trenches to stop it from spreading. None of it worked. The fire was advancing underground, a silent predator consuming the town from below. By the 1970s, things were taking a grim turn. Sinkholes began opening up randomly in backyards, streets, and even under houses. Flames and smoke would erupt from these craters, leaving behind scorched earth and an unsettling sulfuric stench. Residents first dismissed it as a transient problem, but denial turned to horror when tragedy struck. In 1981, a young boy named Todd Domboski nearly lost his life when a sinkhole opened up in his grandmother's backyard. He was swallowed into a pit of smoldering ground, but was miraculously pulled to safety by a nearby relative. What was most haunting, however, was the deadly cocktail of gases detected in the sinkhole: carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide, and methane, silent killers lurking beneath the surface. By then, the federal government got involved. Evacuation plans were enacted. Centralia's population, once numbering over 1,000, began to diminish. Most residents reluctantly packed their belongings and said goodbye to their beloved town. Streets became vacant, homes were boarded up, and schools were closed indefinitely. Yet some remained, like stubborn anchors resisting the inevitable tide. And then there's the cemetery, a chilling reminder of Centralia's earlier days. It's said that during Centralia's decline, visitors to the town's hilltop cemetery often reported seeing mist rising unnaturally from graves. Was this volcanic venting from the coal fire? Or was it something more paranormal, a blend of restless spirits disturbed by the chaos below? Today, almost everything that marked Centralia as a town is gone. Entire blocks have vanished, grass grows over cracked pavements, and street signs lead to nowhere. What's left is a landscape straight out of post-apocalyptic fiction, where only a handful of resilient holdouts defy the government's orders. A population of less than 10 remains, persisting amidst fires that still rage below them. And yes, the fire continues. It's believed the underground blaze could burn for another 100 years or more. Centralia has become a pit stop for thrill seekers, urban explorers, and paranormal investigators. It's fascinatingly eerie and undeniably alluring. Legends have told of apparitions appearing on vacant streets, of spectral lights seen in the distance that blink out as one approaches them. Some say you can hear faint voices in the still night air. Paranormal phenomenon? Or the earth itself groaning with its fiery secret? One local claimed to have seen shadowy figures moving through the remains of a church. Others report odd humming sounds with no discernible source. Skeptics point to the fire, attributing these experiences as psychological tricks caused by heat waves and gas emissions. But true believers argue, with this much death, destruction, and abandonment, the area is bound to harbor restless energy out of the ordinary. Why does Centralia strike such a chord with us? Is it because it's a ghost story brought to life, both literally and metaphorically? Perhaps we see in it a surreal reflection of humanity's own hubris, how something as simple as setting fire to trash could spiral into a decades-long purgatory. Occasionally, Hollywood adds to its mystique. Here's might know Centralia as the inspiration for the video game and movie franchise Silent Hill. Without giving too much away for non-fans, the eerie fog and abandoned look aren't entirely artistic liberties. Much of that atmosphere comes from haunting real life. So whether you see Centralia as a cautionary tale, a paranormal hotspot, or simply an urban tragedy, one truth remains. It is a place where time seems to have stopped. A town cursed to burn for eternity below, while above it, quiet, ghostly remnants try to endure. But here's the question for you. If you could visit Centralia, would you? Would you dare walk among the skeletal remains of a town that burns forever? Or perhaps, would you prefer to let its unsettling legacy rest as nothing more than a cautionary line in history's chapters? Thanks for exploring the darkness with me tonight in the Nightside Archive. Be sure to join us next time for more stories where the eerie meets the real. Until then, keep your eyes open. Sometimes the strangest things are just beneath our feet.